Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition, and for tonight headlines we have General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim gives trips to the atlas of the FAD. Donald Trump say optimistic on trade agreement. Welcome to our newsroom. The second step of the inter-RPP relays was launched from Ali Sabih prefectures by the member of the RPP Party Executive Committee, in this case Mr. Sakaruri, in the presence of the president of the RPP annex of Ali Sabih and the technical committee of the relay. Raid 50 RPP activists is composed of women, men and young athletes were mobilized to relay the flag of the RPP until the exit of the city of Asajog. Then they really took the road through Big Para and the smalls at this level. The torch bearers The 40th anniversaries of this locality, like the technical committees of the relay race and the riders with the RPP party flag stopped for goodbyes. The president of the RPP party and president of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle.
إلى هل نبتلني نحن التوه نتمنى نحن التوه شريطان كنير.
Also, part of the celebrations of the 40th anniversaries of the Popular Rally for Progress Party, the organizing committee of the festivity relay chaired by the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, headed for the cities of Obok with the youth relays who kept to peace from Dekhil to Obok. Arrived in Obok, the organizing committee of the 40th festivities was welcomed by the population of Obok with great pomp before animating the RPP's historic festivities in joy and excitement. Until late at the night, Obok used to celebrate the 40th anniversaries of the largest political party with pride and take the opportunity to sing and dance together the athletics of this party that has consolidated sovereignty, national unity and progress in peace thanks to the enlightening policy of the President of the RPP and President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Gelle. On the occasions of the celebration of 40th anniversaries of the popular rally for RPP Progress, an inter-annex competition has been scheduled for the entire national territory. The first applications of this inter-annex cultural competition was the Annex 1 and 2, which had the chances to present its artistic and cultural works on the Gafane stadiums of the National Artist Agency, Djiboutian Institute of Art. This ceremony was enhanced by the presence of His Excellency Momin Hassan Barre, Minister for Muslim Affairs and Culture and Property Waqf, with the presence of chairmen of the Commission for Cultural Competition, Mr. Jama'a Dabar Ufani. In these circumstances, the minister, accompanied by the chairman of the Cultural Commission, proceeded to visit the various stands, appreciate the many works and created and congratulate the organizers for the cultural rich present. After the national anthems of the countries and that of the party was the ceremony of speech, during which the Minister of Culture addressed in his speech his heartfelt thanks to the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Margele, and President of the party, RPP, for the long and rich track records on RPP achievement, he said. In the same vein, the Minister of Culture and Waqf Property, Momin Hassan Barre, has in his speech paid tribute to the deceased, our popular artist Sabizid Badri, and sends his sad condolences to his family and the community of Djiboutian artists. The Technical and Tactical Training Center, CITA, of Camp Shah Osman, welcomed this morning on Saturday, February 23, a ceremony of awarding rewards to the athletes of the armed forces. This ceremony was presided over by the General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, the Chief of the Staff of the General Armed Forces. The awards were attended by senior ADF officials, in particular Brigadier General Tahir Ali Muhammad, the Chief of the Defense Staff, Major General Hassan Ali Kamil, and Colonel Wa'is Muhammad Bogore, commanders of the Djiboutian Coast Guard, the President of the Athletics Federation. Said Ismail Hassan, accompanied by his Vice President Mr. Umar Mahabe, was also honored after the review of the picket made to pay the honors to the same guy. General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim greeted the delegations of senior officials and spoke with the athletes.
I'm sorry.
عبد الله حرن رجلك اختجر غير صوت مجرد
الجدار شايف عم تقلي فوت تساوي عفصوت المجنون
اسك سوق رسمه عفصوت المجنغال
شرجن حسن ما جامع سوق رسمه كارتي جنغال عفصوت المجنغال رشا حسين شنو كارتي جنغال عفصوت المجنغال كم غاشف سليمان برا روب لغي جمو كارتي جنغال عفصوت المجنغال كبرى شاف قورة إبراهيم وعيس كارتا جرنال سكسوك رسمه وزاطق مجر النار
بريمير محمود بوح قال لك رسمه جرنال أفضل ما جرنال.
Once the team got the guests of honor and the military delegations in the receptionists all were installed, the ceremony began with the readings of some verses from the Holy Quran. Then the commanders Ahmed, Umar Ali, and further sports officers took the floor to present to the audience a brief overview of the performance of Djiboutians athletes. Proud of the demonstration performance, the chief of the defense staff congratulated the EDF athlete for the excellent result and handwork. CMGA urged athlete to persevere further to show his satisfaction. General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim promote to the highest rank all participants in the 20th editions of Djibouti Telecom 50 kilometers. There is no doubt that the discipline, the respect, and the daily practice of the training and the performance support of the High Command for the benefit of our athlete, he said, contributed significantly to the obtainance of the excellent results.
بكريو ولوغو تغيو ترسي مويا وعلى بكريو ولوغو تغيو ترسي مويا شكوتاي تمرتاديو توكا غنكادو تهي انت الله.
The recent acquisitions of state-of-art equipment and state-of-the-art laser devices, Peltier Hospital Ophthalmology Department has expanded its expertise by offering specializing ranges of services previously unavailable in Djibouti. Thus, Dr. Reisu Abdi and his teams have already been able to treat some 20 Djiboutian patients who benefit from these delicate operations of glaucoma. Thanks to the modernizations of the technical platform, Djiboutian patients have now resorted to using the laser to treat various ocular pathologies such as the glaucoma operation that are now made possible. These laser devices are completed by state-of-the-art visual file analysis and use it to determine the types of damages caused by glaucoma and topics reserve damage, and in some cases brain injury used for tuberculosis, glaucoma, and treatment resistance of glaucoma. Following the participation of the Djiboutian players at the training centers Republican Guard in France last year, the world competition is people under 13-year-old held in France. A French delegation of this competition came to the capital after an invitation, a letter from Colonel of the Republican Guard, Mr. Mohamed Jama Douale. On their arrival, this delegation was greeted by the Republican Guard officials at Humbly Airport. The purpose of this visit was to see the youth football training center in Djibouti. It's with great sadness that we learned the death of Abdi Duksi Ali, who passed away on Thursday, 21 around 5 EM, born in 1933. The late Abdi Duksi Ali was an officer of the Gendarmerie from 1956 to 1977. From 19 1982 to 1922. He was a parliamentarian. After once his political life ended to the late Abdi Duksi, Ali became a great trader known to all. He has incarnated to his life the values of generosity and humility. He leaves behind him 12 children and many little children. May the Almighty grant him his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, President Donald Trump expressed optimism Thursday about reaching a landmark trade deal with China, but said in an interview that he would consider leaving in place some tariffs on Chinese goods, even if the two sides strike an agreement. Without the tariff, they wouldn't be taken, Mr. Trump said in an interview with the New York Times shortly after his administration concluded 2 days of high-level trade talks with Chinese officials and make this point clear to them. And he hosted the Chinese delegations in the Oval Offices earlier in the day of Mr. Trump said he would meet next month with the Chinese President, Mr. Xi Jinping. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.